Hello, 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 and welcome to another Daily Code Fun. Chips ahoy, says Coding with Scott to Captain Commerce. Dugasoff says that 11 lion, which is what Coding with Scott called me this morning, is better than 10 lion. I say this morning, but it's whatever time it happens to be for you. I hope you're all doing well. I am. I have been super duper swamped. I did. I went live at around 1 o'clock. I don't remember what time it was. It just kept getting pushed back because my meeting got rescheduled, and then there was another meeting that I completely forgot about, and yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks, as I keep mentioning, but almost there. Next week I should have a little bit more of a regular schedule, and then I'll be extremely busy, of course, like doing crunch time exam studying for the certification just to make sure that I have all of the knowledge in my head that I will need to pass the AZ-204, which I'll be doing on the Sunday. Another fun thing is Irish John Games was complaining about this yesterday, but OBS they completely updated the. I wouldn't say completely. They reskinned the UI and made things probably more readable or touch friendly, I think is what they were going for. But it's pretty terrible, in my opinion. Um, Sean did not appreciate it yesterday while he was streaming. I really liked it how uh, compact things were. And I'm wondering if I could reset the UI to that eventually. But I won't do that now. Yeah, more meetings. I do have a new meeting that's scheduled for every Thursday, which is what my meeting used to be. My meeting from Tuesday used to be this meeting, but now my Tuesday meetings are going to be 1 hour long, and those are centered around collaborating with another team on the work product, which is cool, but it also just means more busy, more busier, and more busy. And then my Thursday meetings are just with the client to show them the current progress of the application and where we've made it to. Cool. All right, then. Let's get started, I think. Yes, we have been working on the financial management tracking application. It has been quite fun. Yesterday I was a little bit all over the place, but we still ended up getting quite a bit done. So we have set up our lookups so that they cache, or cache. Right now it's just kind of mocked. Um, Let me greet everyone first, though. The Z-Man is here. Dukasoft is definitely here. He is so here. Coding with Scott's here. Captain Commerce is here. If you guys have not checked out either Coding with Scott nor Captain Commerce, well, we probably haven't seen Coding with Scott lately. But here's links to their channels. I still don't have very good shout outs for a lot of people. Actually, I do have a shout out for Captain Commerce, but it's a little old, so I don't even know if it's good anymore. I don't know. It's close. It's still close-ish. He moved his times a little bit, so I think he starts a little bit earlier on Mondays, and then he streams more often, it sounds like. Who knows what's good? Scott is also here, so hello, Scott, and then hello to Dukasoft was here. Oh man, and he resubbed. Oh geez, 10 months, 10 months in a row. Holy cow, that is insane. Thank you so much for that. You're an amazing being, And not just because you sub or gift sub or anything like that. It's just because you're here and you are who you are. And I really appreciate you being around. So, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. So yeah, I think I made it through the I don't have good words for this. I asked a question yesterday early on, and I got a whole bunch of feedback, which was awesome. I connected, or maybe it was 2 days ago. I connected with a couple other Sagetti team members, or they're not really team members, they're just coworkers. They're people that work at Sagetti as well. They are working on different projects, but I got their input as well regarding essentially difficulty levels, like how hard is it to do one thing or another inside of using a specific framework or language or technology. And it really does sound like the reason, and this is kind of interesting to me, and I like this perspective. The reason that a lot of people find JavaScript frameworks to be easier is, and we see that more common in the industries, I guess, is because one, they've been around for a long time, so they have really good support. Excuse me. Well, not helpful. Hold on. Let me do my brain thing. Let me do my brain thing. Why that? Oh, fine. Space. Okay. So it's not only because of how long it's been around, how much documentation there is, how many examples there are out there, and Blazor still being relatively young, not having as much, although documentation has gotten a million times better for Blazor, and there are tons of examples out there now. But it's still not as trusted as other frameworks because the other frameworks have been around for a long time. They've been tried and tested, and industry moves slow. Anyway, moving on. The other reason is because a lot of JavaScript framework developers, so Angular developers, React developers, they are predominantly just focused on that UI piece, on that front end piece, whereas most .NET developers have either an area that they are stronger in, middle tier for all of that functionality, business logic, back end for all of the data and database creating, and then front end. I don't think it's just YT, it's YouTube, whole thing. I'll add YT soon enough. So because they're so most .NET developers are even though they have that one main area of focus, MeTube, they have broad information. They are almost always thinking in terms of full stack. So it's like I guess I can say, would almost always have the consideration of, like if I'm middle tier, I'd be thinking, how can I code all of my interfaces and everything so that the front end will be able to just pick up my objects, my abstractions, everything that it needs, so that they can code the UI without needing to talk to the backend. And then how can the backend do everything that it needs for creating the databases, for setting up our servers, for doing all of the architecture stuff without needing all of the concrete objects. And then me as the middle tier will be writing the logic for, here's how I connect to the back end to give data to the front end. And all of my business logic is here. But predominantly I would be more focused on that. Right now I'm more focused on UI work and front end stuff, but I'm still considering, as I'm creating my UI, how can I still make that middle tier, because I'm doing both, work with any backend, abstracted enough that I can just hook in whatever existing code there is, which is what I'm currently doing, and it's so much fun. You guys have no idea how much fun this is. Um, but hooking up all of the existing logic so that all I have to do is from my services, from my interfaces, just implement a new version of it that says, here is the actual implementation of how I get this information from the system or from whatever other services, API services or whatever. And I'm transforming it into the shape of data that my portion of the UI is expecting so that I can display everything, but it's the same exact data. And so now they have their original product and it still works. And then I have a switcher where they can switch to my version of the UI within that original product and get exactly the same state, exactly the same information, the same resources. Everything is all there, and it's so cool. But the point is, so JavaScript developers are generally focused on just that UI piece, except for, when you're doing the whole MERN stack or whatever stack you happen to be using, and you're doing that full stack that way. But there are still so many that, like, if we talk to an Angular developer on one of these teams that would be assigned to this project, then they would most likely only care and know about even the front end portion of it. Here's all of my specialized knowledge on doing Angular development, which means that it's going to be super easy for them to prototype a thing or to quickly build up that minimum viable product or proof of concept or whatever stage we happen to be at. And I thought that that was really, really insightful. So when I put together this timeline, I was able to just say, all right, so let's say that it's me we're using Blazor full stack, then however much time it'll take me plus some buffer is to do everything that I would keep in consideration is probably more time than it would take. Excuse me, I have this weird thing coming in my nose and it's messing up my throat. Anyway, the amount of time it would take me as someone that is super comfortable in Blazor, I can quickly sketch out UI, have all of these abstractions, and connect to a backend. Yes, that is a good idea, Dukasoft. I actually need to go get them shortly. Paying whiskey. But that should be more time than is needed for someone that specializes in UI work or an Angular developer or a React developer that would be doing the same task as I would be doing using Blazor. And so the amount of time that I would take plus buffer equals still plenty of time for any framework that will be coding the UI in. Does that make sense? It made sense to me. That's a lot of words, but I just thought it was really cool to find that out. Okay, so we're back. I'm gonna go really, really quick and fill up my water bottle. So we're not quite back. It'd be really nice to have water. 12 seconds. So much better. So much better. No, just once. Quick whiskey. I can't even say it. Quick whiskey break. Be right back. That's really hard to say. The QU plus WH and then a BR. Quick whiskey break. Wait. Anyway, I'm back. So yesterday, we threw together our implementation for something like a cache list of lookup items. We got through quite a bit of it. I had a ton of anxiety. Not going to be read only. It'll get easier the more you drink. Quick whiskey break. Let's try it again. Let's try just a little more. Oh yeah, that's some good water. Whiskey. See the hair on my chest? No, me either. It was terrible. Thanks for asking. Okay. So even though I was having a lot of trouble holding on to my being in the present moment thought, we still were able to get this thing set up. So I like that quite a bit. Hair seems to be loading. My hair is getting pretty poofy. It's not as poofy as it will be before I end up getting tired of it and cutting it, but it's getting there. So, did we actually end up replacing? No, we were in the process of replacing our lookup items, our drop-down list with that cache list of lookup items. So I think we did it for the payee only so far. What's up with all of these squigglies though? You know what? We are going to reload Visual Studio because it's been a minute and see if that'll help us with our syntax highlighting, with our Roslyn compiler messages. I'm lost. I don't even know where Visual Studio is. What is Visual Studio? That is correct. Are you good now? No more green squigglies? Oh, we happen now. Well, you should at least, thank you, turn into component color. Looking good. Still loading. Oh, you can't really see that. Let me scoot this up just a little more. There we go. As my start menu gets in the way. That's my YouTube channel. YouTube. Speaking of, I can add that right now. SQL Server Object Explorer. What are you called? Automated Realms bot. Here are my commands. I'll have a way to do this programmatically soon, or at runtime soon. We want YouTube, and this is going to be the same as 515 0 0 true datetime.now. I don't know what today is. 9/7/8 Savidro, and it is currently 10:49, 10:50. with 0 seconds, right on time. Perfect. Okay, so this is going to be the same as this. Maybe I should just have an alias table. That would be cool. I bet it's 1337. Do you have 1440p on my monitor? I, it's, um, I, here are my displays. I have that, which is 2160, and these two are 1080. But I'm assuming I could do 1440 if you want me to. 4K is what we're seeing. I don't know. I don't really mess with very much of the settings. Stream. Nope. Output. Streaming. Yeah, I'm streaming at 1080, I think. I don't know what that means. But yeah, so that TV over there is 4K. I don't really know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I think this is 2K, which I think is 1440. Is that or is that also 2160? But anyway, this is 2K. It could be 4K. I don't know. Okay, so 2K is both 1080 and 1440. Yeah, I don't know much about that thing. I like to use what looks good to my eyes. And I find out what I like and then I use it, and then when I am done figuring it out and I have chosen the thing, then I just dump it all. But yeah, it's 1337. Leet coder. Leet coder. Good answer, says Dugasoft. Okay, so we replace payees with iLookup item view model of int payee view model. We can do the same for line item types, except instead of payee view model, this is going to be line item view model. And when we're populating it, we would do lookup list state get lookup items int line item view model. And then we are to listing it to I actually put listing. We are to listing it because this thing is currently a list of when yeah, I don't mind it because we're materializing it once and then we're using it the whole time. So there's a physics game. It is awesome. So if you have not seen this, I know he's not here. Actually, he's streaming currently. If you want to see the actual game itself, again, I'm not trying to have you leave my stream, but this dude is awesome. He's solo dev and he's made this really amazing, cool physics-based game. And yeah, I love watching him work in Unity. Both him and Irish John Games are my favorite game devs on Twitch. I love watching them do what they do. But the look and feel of this is kind of Valve, so Half-Life inspired, but it has Portal type puzzles and mechanics, and yeah, it's really cool. I was able to play a demo when it was out on Steam, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I recommend it. Okay. Okay. We are working on this drop-down list. Let's do it. Let's get it done. Actually, oh, never mind. I was gonna say that it looked like it worked because I didn't get any complaints just then. But I'm sure that there's something that we need to update. Red squigglies again. Red squigglies again. Why you guys can't give me something that is not a red squigglies? Okay, there we go. Okay, and go. We're trying to bind it to line item type ID, which might not work for us. Great. Fantastic. Close. Take me here tonight. .NET Watch. I just got an email from a coworker. You're going to ask a lot of questions about things that I have already considered. Oh my gosh. So you're having trouble building because I don't know why I tried to build just then. Login for not login form. Payment entry eraser Linanade. Hello Linanade. Excuse me. Wait, you were name, right? Yeah. So name is getting replaced by display text. Yeah, I think I do have to use line item ID as my value. Right. Okay, so this did run for us. Super duper nice of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate your candor. Okay, so we still have no line items. What the truck? That means that we don't have anything in our list of cached line items that are of type int line item ID or line item view model. So let's find out how this thing is getting populated. We do initialize, and initialize is where we are doing the populating. Here we are. So instead of this being a lookup line item type, this needs to be our line item type. Oh, it's because I was trying to do a line item view model instead of a... Oh, okay. That kind of makes sense. Why are you guys named so similar? Who named these variables and objects? I'm gonna have to have words with them. Um, what? What is he sitting there for? Okay, so do we have items now? We do! We do? We do. Sorry, one of the best clips from... Actually, I haven't seen one for a while. Here's Captain Commerce. No, I didn't even get to hear it. My volume was turned down too much. I don't know that clip. I wanted to know what that clip was. Sad. Don't mind me, I'm just sad. Okay, so I just want to know if this thing actually works. It does not. It does not. Because more than one element, that's the issue. All right, so I need this to be... Right, it needs to filter by type. That's what it is. Sumimasen. In this line item added, it's this one. Huh? Oh. Wait, no. That doesn't make sense. There really should only be one matching line item unless nope, not unless. So you can see that I do have incrementing IDs. I only have one copy of each. Definitely getting the right values here. We are only getting 3 items back, but for some reason, the error that we're getting is that there's more than, at least let me double check, more than one element in the sequence that match that ID on line 90. Yeah, so that's this thing here. Should not be the case. It should not be the case at all. It doesn't make sense, does it? My line item types should only have 3 items in it, and each of those items should have a distinct ID. Or am I crazy? I'm probably crazy, but it doesn't matter. I am allowed to be crazy. I pick a U, I pick a Jew, I click add. You didn't hit the breakpoint for me, you jerk. Sequence contains more than one element on line 90, which is this thing here. Do you have a way for me to be able to see? And like I even lose my UI when that happens. Okay, I pick a dis. I pick my nose. Hello, Nick. Happy Thursday to you. How have you been? I hope all is well in your world. It's been a minute. The thing that I am looking for is what are the contents of my not payees line item types, please. It'll be easier to see it either in locals, nope, or in watch. Scott is like, wait a minute. A million is longer than 1 year, 6 months, and 19 days and 23 hours. Now, I still want it to be um, empty. So I could do single or default, but this is still telling me that it's giving me, and I don't even want single, I want first. But this thing is telling me that there's more than one element coming back that has the same ID that I'm looking for, and that's a lie. But it's true. Look at this. They all have ID 0. It's just in my mocking. I forgot to set ID. I forgot to set ID. Here, here, here. And also here. Why are you guys all weird? ID equals x.id. Oh man. Oh man. So like 16 things happened to Nick. Wow. So it was really only 2, but they are major things. Nick is now married. He got married while he was on holiday. We knew that you were engaged, so congratulations. Omedetou gozaimasu. So happy for you. That's awesome to hear. And further, he's a full-on manager at his job. Holy cow. Congratulations for that as well. I can count more for you to reach 16. Oh, yes, yes. As in, you actually have gone through about at minimum 16 pretty big changes, I'm assuming. Same here. So since the last time you've been in the stream, I've started putting all of my well, maybe you were here before that. I've started putting all of my coding sessions on YouTube, and we started on this financial management tracker project together, finally. I've been working at Sagetti, which I think you knew about that one. And I am currently working on this really, 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 really fun project that has to do with using Blazor for the UI in a desktop application. And it's been so cool. So much fun. Awesome. So that works now. Now that I have an ID. But as mentioned, we're going to do first because single works slower than first, and I loved it this. I loved it finding out this. Single works slower because you would use it when you're like, hey, I want to guarantee that there is only one item. Like what we just ran into. I got an error because there was more than one item matching on this ID. I would not have seen the bug unless I started trying to add other item types, like sales tax. And then this would have shown up as subtotal because that's the first one in the list. But here it just threw an error instead. It was like there's more than one element that has this ID, and this thing was trying to choose ID 0, and that's because I didn't populate the IDs for all of these. And so yeah, let's and Jim's here. Thank you so much for the host and the lurk. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. So I guess I've already forgotten. You're a streamer. I suck at this. And if you're a streamer, why am I not following you? I mean, how else would you be hosting? Why can't I follow you? Load. Thank you. You're followed. So check out Jim. Check out Jim. I can hear myself. Oh my gosh. I don't like hearing myself. Ups. Oh. Wait, sorry. Just kidding. Undo. Control Z. Control Z. I read it. Where's the remove all taxes button? Oh, it's in there. Speaking of, I don't have a clear button. I need a clear button down here. I have two things that I would want in this, which is to be able to remove one row at a time, or to be able to edit that row and then finally on the whole table have a clear all or reset or whatever it is. But for now, we won't worry about that. For now, we are focused on getting all of our lookup items in our drop-down menus. So we got payee and we have line item type. Now we need account. So let's do that one. And also, yeah, we'll do it on ID as well. And also, we will populate like so. Wait, where did you go quiet? Oh, Simple Game Dev just stopped streaming. That's okay. Finite is streaming as well, and so is Visual Studio. They are streaming their community stand-up for what? .NET Performance. Oh, I am so looking forward to the performance boosts that are coming in .NET 7. Okay, so we are getting our account. Okay, is this thing actually an account or did I make an account view model? Please tell me I made an account view model. I remember doing that with you guys yesterday. .NET 7, hell yeah. They outdid themselves again, right? Yeah. Like, I haven't been keeping up to the latest, but I've seen a couple videos from, of course, Nick Chapsis, where he talks about optimizations made to IEnumerable and to link, and that's like, oh my gosh. Insane performance boosts for that. Account view model, yes. Yes. Yo-yos. Yo-yos. Asta. Cool. Okay. So account view models for this one. And that should only make me have to update which field is being displayed here in my accounts drop down, which is display text, please. So you know what? I think therefore eat spam. I should be able to just change this over to value text or to string. We'll rename it to value. Oh, which this is fine now. We can keep. What? I know who that is. Lemon Snickers. Lemon Snickers sounds great. Anyway, hello Apocalypse. How are you doing on this fantastic Thursday? Whoa. Irish John has a double peak. Thank you for mentioning Snickers. I got chocolate right here. Oh, no fair. I mean fair, but no fair. I want. Please M2 has give me. Yes. For very much. That's are terrible. Amazingly terrible. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Anyway, distracted. Let's change this to a string as well. We're gonna go ahead and update all of these. Why do I have an interface for this? I don't recall why I have an interface for this, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, so these are all going to be strings. This is payee value text. This is account value text. And this way, eventually, we can do something like have a GUID for the value text instead of trying to select by ID, so that we can hide the ID from the client side if we need to. Excuse me. There it goes. What didn't I update? There's something that I missed. Sumimasen. Account value text. Oh, it's because this thing should say value text. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Interface for view model. Yeah. So I think I was trying too hard to abstract everything. And I was exploring different options as far as building up this abstraction layer. Shared libraries, abstractions. And so I was creating model interfaces so that, like, if someone wanted to take just the UI, yeah, that's what it was. So this UI, I wanted it to only depend, excuse me, only depend on the abstractions library and maybe the shared localizations. Um, yeah, those two. And that meant creating interfaces for the models so that they could implement the models however they wanted in theirs without needing a dependency on shared models. But like my abstractions class library, had a dependency on shared because my service interfaces were going to return something like a task of list of iPayment entry view model. So it used to be that this would be a method that gets all payment entries for X date, I don't know when. Um, and so that would make my abstraction library depend on shared, which means my implementations. And I don't want that. I wanted this to be by itself completely. But as I'm reviewing this, as I'm looking at it more, it's like it doesn't make sense for this application it was making sense for the application that I was working on for my job because they had their own models and I was just basing my models off of their models. And so I wanted the interface being provided so that their concrete implementation of that model would be the one that gets passed in. And yeah. But for this application, I think we're going to undo all of that and just use the model themselves, which means that my abstractions is still going to depend on shared or something. Hey, it's Science Dreams. I was lurking on your channel last night. Good times for you. I was AFK while I was lurking, so I still feel bad. But at least I'm giving you viewership. I have my sound turned up. I have it as the screen in front. But yeah, I'm usually with my wife in the evenings, just hanging out. I appreciate you for being her, for being amazing, for erroring. Line item view. Oh my gosh. Line item view model line 6. Line item view model line 6. You are a string named line item type value text. Okay. Nick says, just to be clear, it's not necessarily bad, especially if you use interfaces to unit test places that use the interface. Yeah, and I like it. I just don't really know how to maintain it, how to manage using interfaces for a view model. Oh, Dukasoft. Dukasoft. Thank you so much. You're so cool. Science, thank you so much. You guys are so nice to me. I really do not deserve to have you guys hanging out with me. You're amazing peoples. I'm just me. But thank you for choosing to be here. Thank you for choosing to give. Your awesomeness. But yeah, Nick, if you do have any input on that, if you feel like typing, there is absolutely no requirement. I'm moving forward with what we have. But the situation was this. My current job, I was redesigning the user interface for an existing application. They have an entire library that performs all of the business functionality, all of the business logic, and everything like that. Science. Thank you. Science just paid it forward by gifting a sub to Irish John Games. Oh my goodness, you're so nice. Yeah, thank you. Thank you a million times over. I'm not going to be able to get through this because you guys are being too kind. Tears. Oh, tears. Let me see if that built. That does. Oh, nope. Still some more errors. Okay. So my project was completely separate from their project, and I had access to their code base, and I was developing on my own. So like I made my own Maui app, and then I put my Blazor UI and everything in a separate class library. And of course, while I was mocking everything up, I wanted to closely follow their existing code. So I pulled in their abstraction class, and then I provided my own mocking for all of their objects. And for my new objects, I wanted them to be interfaces so that when we pull it into their actual project, I was assuming I was going to turn it into a NuGet package that they would just reference. So all of those Blazor Razor class libraries would just be NuGet references, and then they would provide their own implementations of the interfaces of the models and everything to Cassandra. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I too provide my own mocking of other people's code. Oh, I want to hear your mocking of mine. Um, didn't I rename? I didn't rename. Rename. Go. Um, if this is in a repo in GitHub, I could check it out in my free time or comment or even get into a community day and explain. Yeah, it is currently on GitHub. No, project. Try again. There you go. It's currently in GitHub. We're on the setup view models branch. Um, but yeah, again, it's not something that you really need to spend time on because this is just something that we're doing as a stream, I guess. And I want to get through the first iteration before I start like doing full community involvement with pull request and everything like that. I need to decide on which naming I want here. Oops. I will get rid of. No, it doesn't make sense to just have it called value. But it also doesn't make sense to have it called ID either, because that's not always the ID. It's going to be a GUID when I completely do this the way that I want to do it. So I'm going to rename this one to just text, value text. I'm going to interrupt myself a lot now. You guys got me going crazy. Next gift sub icon is for 100. Not going to be today. You don't have to do that ever, Dukasoft. I mean, I really appreciate you. Really, really appreciate you. And you too, Nick. So yeah, if you do it on your free time, that's cool. I really appreciate it. Um, I was thinking that we were going to go ahead and start moving these over into concrete classes anyway. I don't know for sure because I started getting into a situation where I don't even remember what the issue was. I was trying to do something like an iPayment entry service of T model, where T model is an iPayment entry view model, so that I could return something like a list of T model where my implementation is to create a new one of these or whatever. But yeah, it got really busy up here when I was looking for needing to use multiple concrete classes. So like the main thing was my UI, for example. Let me show that. That's where the main one was coming into play. Let's say that I was injecting this iPayment entry service, and in my UI, in my payment entry page, which is where I need an instance of a new payment. And so I wouldn't be able to have this just be generic like this. Shift Alt Enter. What is Shift Alt Enter? I use Control dot. So I wouldn't be able to create my new instance of this to be able to use it as my model for my data entry form. So this would need to be a new payment entry of T payment entry, where T payment entry is a, sorry, I said where, is a I payment entry view model. And then this would need to be a T payment entry. And then this would be like activator dot create instance of T payment entry And so this would kind of work. This would get there, but then now I'm adding all of these T items to every single one of my components. And when I instantiate that component, then I'll need to pass in the concrete value. And I just don't know how to manage it. I just don't know how to manage it. You want me to go into presentation mode? I see. I can do that. Um, Save. I just like having the space on my screen. Oh, it just goes full screen. Okay. Yeah. I like to be able to see this so that I can click on it easily. But if you want, I could do that. I don't want. I present to you 11 line. Enhance. Disenhance. But yeah, we're just going to keep going with what we have. I am using the concrete types here at present. Oh, I would go around that in two ways. You were actually tracking. That's cool. That's nice. Hello, Tommy. Make a factory that would create a view model. It is going. It is going. It is going well. Yeah, I'm probably going to forget it, Scott, but I'll do my best to remember. And Tommy with the resub. 12 months in a row. One whole year. Yeah, so I would have pretty much for every single one of my data entry models, I would have some kind of factory dependency injected. And then I would use that factory to new up or to get a new instance as needed. So I know that approach. I'm going to write that down to see if maybe that's a good one, especially for testing, like you said, because then, like if this view model is an MVVM view model, then it would have the logic for hydrating it and everything like that. And so, or maybe there's like specific logic for example, one of their models um, has get logic that gets information directly from the system it's running on. And so what I would want to do is my implementation for the mocking version or for even the testing version would give back a specific value for that instead of going to the actual system to get that value. Because I wouldn't be testing the functionality of going to the system and getting that value. I'd be testing something else with this view model. But yeah, I like that initial approach so far. Notepad. Where did you go, Notepad? You're way over here. Why are you on this screen? Uh, no. Save. No. 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 I finally archived my previous job's work folder, and all of the notepad thingies I had open from that are telling me, hey, this is no longer in the spot that you wanted. Do you want to close it? Okay, so regarding interfaces for models. first recommendation, or first option, I guess is what this is to create a factory. And then you can do dependency injection for that factory to be able to instantiate new models. Copy this. Pause the U there. EG payment view model factory. 1 year is a long time to be watching this stream. Oh my goodness. Tommy said, I have my final interview today with a new company, and that's the stack I'd use with them, which is C# and .NET Dev. Yes. Is it Sagetti? And then the alternative is just inject my payment view entry view model and let dependency injection construct it. Yeah, so the problem is like when we submit a payment entry, then we need to reinstantiate a new one or clear it out, I guess. So then maybe my my data entry view models would all have some sort of clear. Sagetti is the company that I work for. And by the way, my views and opinions may not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Sagetti. They are my own. Blah, blah, blah. So, Jetty. Spaghetti. But yeah, it's a consulting firm, and you might not necessarily be working in your preferred tech stack given whatever project you get assigned to, but I was fortunate that when I was being hired, they were hiring me for a specific position, and that position was using Blazor in a desktop application to redesign the user interface and to modernize it and to clean it up, and it's my cup of tea. It is so my cup of tea. But you'll be going with Landstar, a transportation and safety company. Cool. I think I've heard of Landstar before. But yeah, so yeah. Anyway, we are going to continue with this and hopefully finish fleshing out the remaining lookup. Oh, right. Detail, not detail. Reason. Where in the world is reason? That's on a different page. That's why I'm not finding it. Oh my goodness, this guy. Okay, so account value text is what gets populated. Great. I think we're done with the payment entry page, and now we can move on. Or I'm going to do a quick check-in, and then I will move on to our deposit page next, because that's what's next and stuff. So here's my drop-down list for payee. Here's my drop-down list for line item type, and here's my drop-down list for account. Fantastic. But yeah, we're having a lot of fun. I think we're having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of stress and anxiety over the stuff that's going on with my current job, but at the same time, I'm just having a blast. Okay. Are you done processing yet, by the way? Because I want to restart a thing. Nope. I might have to delay that thing. Yesterday's video might be delayed by a little bit because I need to edit out the beginning. I had it saying day 33 for like 5 minutes, and yesterday was day 34. I can't believe he would do that. And then I also found out that you can do timestamps really, really easily on YouTube videos. So I did the timestamp thing for the very first video. It took me about 30 minutes or so to do all of the timestamps, maybe less. But that's still a lot of videos to do that for. But I'm thinking that that's going to be better than trying to go through and edit out all of the parts where I'm just talking with you guys and not doing any actual coding on the screen for the YouTube videos. Of course, the VODs on Twitch will still be available for however long VODs are available on Twitch. 60 days or something like that. Titch. Okay, so that works. So we are pushing, or I'm not actually going to push it. I'm just going to do this thingy. Set up lookup list caching and abstractions. How about abstractions, caching, and implementation. I can't spell right now. And caching. Updated usage of lookup lists on payment entry. Okay, commit. Local commit. These will all be on GitHub once I do a push. Should be today after this, or close to the end of the stream. But we're going to do deposit next. I said we're going to do deposit next. Why isn't deposit open? I see transaction, I see transfer, but I don't see deposit. So weird. Such weird times. All right. I'm going to grab the same account logic that we have over here from payment entry. And pasta. Cool. Lookup list state would be nice to have. Pretty please. Arigato. So lookup list state, if you didn't see it yesterday, this is how we are doing our caching. Lookup list state will have this initialize method that I'll call every time I inject it into a component. And the very first time it will run, but the second and third and fourth and fifth, it'll skip it because it'll already be initialized. But what it does is it prepares all of my lookup lists, and right now, of course, it's all mocked, but this would go to an API endpoint to get all of my lookup lists and then cache it into this list property. And then it'll be available to the whole app. And actually what is going to happen once we finally get to this point is instead of putting it in this lookup list property, it'll put it in IndexedDB so that it's cached in the browser. And anytime that we need a lookup list, it'll go to the browser first and it'll say, what is your most recent updated date for this specific lookup list type? If that, go to the server, get any changes, apply those changes to my lookup list cache, and then give me back all of the lookup list items of that type. How did you make a Razor component with code behind CSS and SCSS? So this nesting is given to us for free with Visual Studio. As long as the file name for each item is matching, so this is depositentry.razor, depositentry.razor.cs, depositentry.razor.css, depositentry.razor.sass. And so the only ones that I created manually, so let's say I'm going to create a new component like primary data entry.razor, primary data entry.sass. These would be the only two that I create when I'm setting it up. Oops. primary data entry.razor.sass is what I said, so that it nests. So you could see it in action right there. And then I use web compiler to compile this Sass file, and that is what generates my .razor.css. And then when I'm going to create my code behind, since I'm too lazy to scaffold it myself, I just create an @code block inside of the Razor component, and then I use the refactoring tools to extract it to the code behind, and it does all of the public partial class stuff for me and names the file the right thing, because lazy. But yeah, what Dukasoft is saying is if you're going to create this partial yourself, then you would create a primary data entry.razor.cs, clean it up from new file, add new file, and just make it a partial. And that's it. That's all it takes. The Sass compiler that I'm using is an extension called Web Compiler 2022 Plus by Jason Moore. This was originally by Mads Christensen, and he just said that he wasn't going to port it over to Visual Studio 2022. So Jason Moore took the liberty of doing that, and it works just as good as it has in Visual Studio 2019 and any other versions. And so what this does is every time that you right-click on a file and do compile, if there isn't already a compiler config.json, it creates one for you. Otherwise, it will add whatever it is to that compiler config. Yeah, so this one is Visual Studio dependent, but there are plenty of Sass compilers out there that you could use. Yeah, exactly. So from this point on, anytime that I make a modification to my Sass, so let's have this thing open here, and we'll put them side by side. And so let's say that I wanted to add a new rule in here for Henry. So a deposit entry form with a Henry class inside of it has a height of, I don't know, what's a normal height of a person? 240 centimeters and a width of 60 centimeters. I don't know any, what are these, imperial units? Metric units? I don't know the difference. But you could see that as soon as I saved, it generated the new CSS. And then because the CSS file changed, then it also did CSS autosync, which would update my UI. So updating a Sass file generates a new CSS, which causes CSS autosync to happen. That's a huge Henry. What is this in inches? I have no idea. I don't need calculator. I don't know what the, yeah, I do. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Pasta. 240 divided by 2.54. 94 inches divided by 12. It's only 7'8". Abacus, if you already know some CSS, you don't need to learn anything special about Sass unless you're trying to use all of the built-in goodness like functions that they have built in for lightening and darkening colors or for doing using Sass variables. But for now, just think of Sass as nested CSS. You would be able to take any rule that you have, and anywhere that there's a space, just put a curly brace, enter. Same thing here, curly brace, oops, new line. Just put a Tommy. What? And then if it's anything that is, for example, let's say that instead of a carriage return, or instead of a carriage return, I said, let's say that this rule was something more like uh, dot data entry wrapper dot Henry. So this means it must be a data entry wrapper. It must have a data entry wrapper in the class as well as Henry. Then you still put curly brace, Tommy. But instead of just enter, you put an ampersand to say it is a data entry wrapper that is also Henry. And Amin is here even. Holy cow, what's going on today? Is it a holiday in Europe? Everyone's here. It's a party. Oh yeah, CSS. I know a ton of that. Counter-Strike source instead of CS. Counter, counter, anyway. So this is just going to generate a rule that's data entry wrapper dot Henry. So you can wrap and unwrap your CSS, make it structured a lot like your actual document, which is the thing that I like about it the most, is that I'm making HTML that is structured in a specific way, and my CSS follows that HTML for the most part. I could see the structure of my page through my CSS. The thing I don't like is just this formatting where it does not let me keep my grid template areas on multiple lines. Those are going to be so mean to me. I'm sure that there's a way for me to update it so that the linter or whatever it is that runs that does this will keep it on multiple lines. Amin says we need electricity. What? What? Tommy height 240 centimeters / Tommy. So Dukasoft is about 180 centimeters. The only big new thing in Europe is RIP Queen Elizabeth II. Scott is like, she just died? Wiki says she's alive. Dukasoft says newspaper says she's dead. Aw, that's sad. I did not know that either. Then again, I don't keep track of the news, especially news in foreign countries. 20 minutes ago. Wow. Is when the news was released. Wow. I mean, you know that I just don't watch the news at all. Ever. Not even my own country's news. But Dugasoft did post a link or a poto. Poto? Pohoto? Or maybe it is a link to the whole thing. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's a tweet. Um, Whatever the link is, it got taken down or something. I don't know. No clue. No clue. But again, I'm not super interested in that. I am sad about it because I don't like hearing about people dying in general. Because of the people that are here and are affected by it. But I'm not directly affected by it. This makes sense. And then I go through this whole entire awkward thing where I'm trying to justify why I don't watch the news. I don't want to. I want to do this. I want to write code. That's what my stream is about. Deposit entry 20. The actual page itself. So this needs to now be display text. And this needs to be value text. Save. Okay, so that should have taken care of the drop-down list for accounts. Survey says no. Yes, maybe. I forgot that it takes 2 seconds. It's Irish John Games. Yeah. So Science paid it forward to you because Dukasoft gave him a gift sub. He says a 1 illion. I like it when people pronounce my name 1 illion too. I hadn't thought about that, but it's kind of cool. 1 illion. It's like a million, but 1. Dukasoft says Irish is here. Hides. Definitely, if I'm sure all of you do, but if you guys don't already know Irish John Games, check him out. Actually, yeah, check him out. He has a game coming out early access by the end of the year. He's doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on it. He's streaming amazing content, working in Unity, working on this awesome looking game. Wishlist it. Gave you the link to the Steam page, Rot Air. Take a look at it. Take a look. Why would you want to do that, Amin? That's just mean. I gave you my preference, and now you're like, let's exploit it. Let's make him sad. I have a lot of stuff to do. I can't be sad. But yeah, so we have our drop down for the accounts list. And absolutely, you deserve it, Senor John. Your community is awesome. I mean, they're a bit trolly, but they're still a lot of fun. And it sounds like you have a lot of fun with them. And you don't take any of it as you're just awesome. You just take things in stride. Not like take things, but you're more resilient than I would be in that kind of a environment. I don't has one of those commands. I'm not as cool as you guys. I do have an F. Wait, that's not what that's supposed to mean. I was supposed to do that earlier, much earlier. Deposit reason. Deposit reasons. Let's make some deposit reasons. Who wants a deposit raisin? Look up list state. We get let's do alphabetical. Oh wait, I do have them. They're right there. I've already done deposit reasons. Just double click, copy everything. No need to type anything. No need to even validate whether what you're doing is right or not. You just kind of guess. That's what I do. Display the text to me. Cool. And once that's done, we will have a 2-second delay, but then our drop-down lists are available. And now there we go. There we go. Drop-down list done. Last one, transfers. So let me do my small commit. Updated usage of lookup lists in deposit and try. And now transfers, por favor, which only has a count because there are 2 accounts. So let's steal it from you again. And I shall never you again. Right. Also remember that we need one of these. And here is how we populate it. Pasta. Control that. KE. Control that. And on the transfer page, we change you to use display text and value text. And there you go. Once this builds, oh yeah, that's a big one. Source account value text, target account value text. You two are strings. Find the implementation. Make you a string. Value text. String. There we go. Percentage complete progress bar or people riot. I have one of those. It is called a progress bar and a progress ring. Did I actually put them in the component library though? I might only have that somewhere else. Loader? No. I would have put it in loader if I had it in here. But yeah, I have a progress bar and a progress ring. Nope. I don't have it in my component library. I can't believe he said that. 2 seconds of waiting. I demand a loading spinner. I do have a loader though. As a loader. Okay, what else is broken? Somebody else looks broken. Down here. I see. Value text. Display text. Value text. Cool. And then I forgot to update this thing to also value text. And also make it a string. Make you value text string implementation string. Cool. And that should take care of it. Updated usage of lookup lists, oops, in transfer data entry. And I'm going to commit this. Done. Commit and push. So latest version is now, watch it not actually build. Latest version is now in GitHub on the setup view models branch. And that replaced all of my usages of geez, of my drop-down lists so far with the actual drop-down cache, which is still a what's it called? Mock. It's still mocked up. Didn't they add a loading spinner in the next Blazor update? Most likely. I kind of remember hearing something about that. That does sound right to me. Blazor.net. Is it in .NET 7 or is it already out? Like with the quick grid. Blazor first party spinner loader. I don't know what it's called. This is Telerik. This is 2019. This is 2021. Blazor spinner component. That's Syncfusion. Yeah, maybe it's not 7. That's Syncfusion. Yeah, in my very, 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 very fast look through, I'm not actually seeing something that is built in that will give us a spinner, but then again, it could be called something else completely, like loader. Yeah, there's just a lot of what I could tell. From what I could tell, it seems like there is a lot of hesitation for Microsoft to produce any first-party components out of the box because they want to allow vendors to create, and also the community to create components that vendors and individuals could market. And so they don't want to steal, I guess, the opportunities for other vendors, especially partners, Microsoft partners. But okay, we have all of our drop downs replaced, so we might be at a point where it's time to start setting up our API. I'm scared to. I want to do more UI work. I want to clean this up more because I don't want to do test-driven development. And I said that we're going to do TDD for all of our backend stuff, including the API. Oh, maybe if I stall for 23 minutes. You know, it sounds like more fun than that. Working on the bot. Oh my. Okay, were there any other, before I do continue, I really do want to ask myself, were there any other view models? Rip the Band-Aid off already. Were there any other view models that we did not cover? Maybe we could try this whole create a view model factory so that we can instantiate pro gamer at .NET. Good question. Well, hello, Sally the Goose. How are you? The question is how to become a pro gamer at .NET. It begins with your mental, just proceed. It begins with your mental state, with your perception. And the perception is that you play a lot of CSS. Is that you are able to. Is that anyone can. Anyone who wants to be pro at software development or at .NET can. It's that accessible for everyone. Then start. Start is the hardest part. Choose to go down a path. If you need help knowing which path to start on, then we definitely have a lively community over on Discord that would be willing to give pointers and advice depending on what it is that you want to do. So, what are you interested in doing with .NET? If you don't know yet and you just want to get started, then there are some really great getting started C# tutorials and stuff. I recently brought this one up called this guy, C# Fundamentals for Beginners. Why are you timestamping that? Excuse me, mod, can you delete that message? I don't think you can, actually. I don't know if it's possible to delete a broadcaster message, which is really dumb. I should be able to delete my own messages. So this video here gives you a great foundation for learning C#. Hello, Sam. Sam. I made a song out of your name. Sam just created her Discord server, or created. I don't remember what your terminology was, but she has a Discord server now. Ban 11 line. Oh man. You had it drafted, so you just put it into production. She just deployed her Discord server. Do you have the invite on hand? I don't. I think you might have put it somewhere. Easy to get to, but I really don't remember where it was. This time I will copy it and make sure that I have it so that we can put it in a custom shout out message for Jewel. And that actually sounds like something else I need to write down, which is for the shout outs. Add any Discord or community links for the broadcaster, e.g. Epic of Sam. Copy that link. Oh my goodness. Spawned. Spawned is the word that you use. Yeah. Cool. All right. I'll try to no promises. I'm not going to try to anything. I'm going to try to stay focused on my current role and jobs and stuff. Yeah. Because that really does need to take priority right now with all of the very, very important things that are happening with the job. Which I'm not thinking about right now. Because we are thinking about, are there any other models? Yes, a row of data in my transaction history, unless that's already a view model. Let's take a quick look. I line out view model, correct. Transaction history. And excuse me, what are you using for your data? A transaction. So I would want to make a transaction view model. Absolutely. Let's create that. Oh, I love all of the emotes. All of the emotes. Kawaii. I mean, kawaii. Oh, but then I have to mock it once I do that. Yeah. Gosh. Gosh. I don't think I want to tackle that one yet. Because my transaction view model would pretty much be a mirror of my transaction item without ID, but it would need some kind of identifier. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. Hello, Paparazzo! A million, billion, jillion, gazillion years. And of course we know what just happened. You showed up in chat. No, we know what you're talking about, though. Good VJ also posted it to Discord. In general? General. Dugusoft is like, you made me coffee? I drank a water. Okay, enough stalling. I'm going to forego the transaction history view model at the moment, or I guess it's just going to be a transaction item view model, in favor of using the actual transaction object from the database. So what I'll do then is merge my view models branch. And we'll say set up view models for the, what's it called? Data entry forms. And create the pull request. You guys reviewed it for me just now. Thank you so much for that. You're so fast. You're amazing. Amazing. Confirm. This time I'm going to do it in this order because last time I messed up a little bit. Where I'm going to switch to master branch. Oh, stop the app from running. Then do a pull. Pull request denied. Oh, but you guys already did. Now we have a new king and queen over here. Man, that fast. Like, I thought that there was going to be some, what's the word I'm looking for? The official ceremony and delay between the actual official, whatever it's all called, the officialness of it. Switch. Full. Okay, so I pulled, I hope. Let's find out. Do we have any view models in here? We do. Do we have the lookup items? We do. Good dog. Evidence says, because Charles didn't want to take it over, as per the official announcement, I assume. Level of legitimacy, I don't know. It's the whatever the phrase is for when you have to go through all of the red tape before you can be inaugurated. Like an inauguration ceremony and all of the verification and validation from all of the official people that need to verify and validate that you are the rightful heir and blah, 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 blah. Barbara says, we'll have some sort of ceremony soon, but as of now, Prince Charles is now King Charles and his wife, Queen Consort. Wow. Security protocols. Yeah, we'll do that. And Habitus is like, right, I forgot he was married. I hope his red duct tape. Quack. Wait, that's not what he said. Could be. What am I trying to do? Look, I am distracted. But I'm okay with this. You know what being distracted means? That means that I'm not purposefully doing it myself, but I am very much welcoming it. Because that means that we're not going to get to this part until the next stream, which is tomorrow, which is Community Day. Community day tomorrow. I should be having my normal stream time tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and do this part of the closing now, even though we have 10 minutes. I should have a normal day tomorrow. Let me triple check my calendar because I actually have to do that now, and it's so annoying. I don't have anything on that calendar for 10:30 or around 10:30. There may be an emergency meeting though. We'll play it by ear, of course. It's over 9,000. And then this one here says 10:30. Right, nothing. Okay, so my two, and I just now got a message. My two calendars show me that I am available at the normal streaming time tomorrow. So let's plan on having our community day from 10:30 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time to 12:30 p.m. All right, Bob Arasso, thanks for popping by. Good to see you. Good to know that you are, or I guess just that you are, because you didn't really tell us how you're doing. How you doing? Where is soundtrack? Hey, soundtrack. There you are. Okay. There's 1 minute left. Time for tests. Aw, didn't fully get to it. So what I'm trying to do right now is just clean out my bin and ops folders because I just merged from... No! Wait, that's okay. That was already there. I just accidentally click drag from client to server doing the whole referencing, but that was already set up, so I didn't mess it up too much. But yeah, I need to clean out the bin and ops folders so that I get the right version of the app running. And to do that, I need to show all hidden files. Well, I don't have to do it this way, but this is the way that I like doing it. Because it just seems like there have been issues on and off with clean not actually deleting the bin and ops folders. So I do it manually. Some guy named Manuel. All right. Bin. I missed. I was going to delete a whole project. Del Tacoed. You can do it. I know you can. There you go. Ouch. And of course, it already recreated my bin folders. See how good of aim I got. All right, and now that I have a Maui app in here, one thing that I want to do to make sure that my builds don't, well, I guess it's not part of my build currently, but what I found also is when I have a Maui app, after deleting bin and obj, I need to run a .NET restore before the Maui app will rebuild successfully. I don't know why, but it's just how it is. All right, so let's just make sure that this is the right version and has all of the changes that we've made so far. And then we will create a new branch for setting up our API. So this will be probably set up transaction services, which includes setting up the API. So it looks good so far. None of this seems to be broken. $31 in tax and $253 in tip. And why not? -1 cent for my subtotal. Cool. Yay. Okay, so this seems to be doing well. Very good. Very, very good. So let's create a branch. Ship it. For, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now I can delete my local branch. So now that I'm doing this in a different order, it feels weird. We can delete the branch from the repo. And now we make a branch. We branch it for setup transaction service. Okay, we are farmers. We're going to be doing test-driven development when it comes to anything related to middle tier or backend. A lot of people call what I call middle tier a part of backend, so maybe I'll just call it backend from now on. But we'll be doing the actual implementation of the, or we need to create the service first, of the transaction service so that we can submit transactions from our running application. We say this thing that cost me -1 cent and $31 in tax and $253 in tip. When I click submit, that needs to go somewhere. That needs to do something. So we're going to write tests. Then we will create the interface while we're writing the test. And we will see the test fail until we write the methods and then implement those methods in the actual service with our mocking services for the API, which I'm not looking forward to, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it all, and we're going to do it right. So I am going to cheat a little bit, though. I'm going to call it there because there's a lot of stuff that I need to do. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day tomorrow. The thing that I've been working on for the past couple of weeks is due tomorrow by 6 p.m. my time. I know. Bum, 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 bum. I don't even know where that is. How do you guys find that so fast? If Dukasoft gets some money, the test is successful. We will make sure of it. We'll absolutely make sure of it. So, as I said though, guys, definitely check out all of those wonderful people that are in our community that also stream. I'm part of their community. We're all part of their community most likely already. We had Epic Sam, we had Science Streams, we had Irish John Games, Coding with Scott whenever he decides that he wants to stream, Captain Commerce. Juan Von came in. He just snuck in. Hello, Juan Von. I hope you had a great day. But yeah, live coding. I just joined, ready for the next 8+ hours of stream. So if you didn't hear live coding, the next thing that we're going to do starting, well, whenever I work on the code next, which might be tomorrow, depending on how community day goes, unless I'm just super duper completely distracted. But we will be starting with testing. So we'll create some abstract classes for our transaction service and our payment or data entry services. We'll create some tests for the business logic, and then we'll implement all of the stuffs and the logics and the everythings. Yeah, it'll be fun. right? I have no idea how we're going to do it. I don't even know how to approach it. I don't know. But I'm going to learn, and you guys will watch me fail. Yay! But I do hope that you have a great rest of your day. I don't know where I'll be. I don't think I'm going to be in Discord for the rest of the week. I would say that I'm normally in the community voice channel, but yeah, there's just going to be a lot happening. So until the next time that you guys decide that you feel like being here, I will see you then. Enjoy your time. And if I don't see you before Monday, if I don't see you tomorrow, that's what I'm trying to say. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah, that's it for me. I hope you have fun. Ciao. Laters. Juice. Bacon. Pickles. My videos get posted to you. My videos get posted to YouTube about 24 hours after the stream. Thank you, Dukasoft. Feel free to join us on Discord, especially if you're new here. Yeah, we have a lot of people that are very supportive and very helpful and very thoughtful. Okay, ciao. Still waving.